Hey everyone! Well, we are officially welcoming spring this week, and I couldn't be more excited. Today I am sharing my ideas for a cozy cottage spring kitchen. We will keep things simple and affordable. Be sure to stay for cozy chats. I have a delicious recipe to share with you. Today I wanted to start with creating a flower arrangement for my kitchen island. You all know that I love fresh flowers in my home, but until my garden gets going for this year, I wanted to create a realistic, gathered arrangement with faux flowers. I thought I would share my process for doing this with all of you. My biggest tip for making faux flowers look realistic is to mix a couple of different stems together. I start with a greenery base that has some movement to it. These are fern stems from Michael's. I then layer in a couple different flowers in various sizes. These are all stems that I had on hand and I just pulled them together. I usually use an odd number when I am working with flowers, so here I have 5 anemone stems, 5 peony stems, and 5 cosmos stems. I wanted just a little pop of color in the arrangement, so I finished the whole thing with 3 of these yellow ranunculus stems. One thing I enjoy is having a few small collections around my home. It is fun to hunt for those pieces that are special to add to my different collections, always with thought and intention, of course. As a collector, I try to keep my collections within reason and think carefully before I add to them. Here in my kitchen is one place I love to display some of my collections. Although it is a bit different, I do adore cabbageware, and I do have a small collection of that. Some new and then some that I found on Marketplace. I love to bring this out for the spring. I really love to reuse and recycle items, so I had a bunch of seed packets that were empty from a couple of years ago from my garden, so I had kept those, and even if they have seeds in them that you are not using, you can discard the seeds, and I just keep the packets and I'm tucking those in a couple places inside the cabinets. I also adore ducks and geese. I found this set of vintage bowls on Marketplace, and then I also have an all-white one of the same print that a friend of mine found for me. It's little pieces like these that help my kitchen to feel special and showcase my love for vintage finds. This area of my kitchen is my place to have a little fun and share my collections. I try to leave room to grow, and I do edit my pieces from time to time. For my kitchen table, I decided to create a spring styling in this gathering basket so I could easily move it if I needed to. I have had the same tablecloth on my table for a while because it is my absolute favorite. Dried baby's breath is one of my favorite accents for spring. I just let it dry out naturally and then I save it and reuse it for other projects. Speaking of baby's breath, I am going to be using some more of that for an arrangement I wanted to add to my chandelier. I love to decorate the chandelier in my breakfast nook area. It is an unexpected way to add seasonal touches to your home. For the base, I used just one fern garland from Michael's and then tucked in some baby's breath all the way around. I finished the styling with some ribbon, but you could certainly create this without the ribbon if you wanted to. Decorating your home is a very personal process. What works well in my home may not exactly work well in your home. When I share ideas, it's always my hope that you are able to take my ideas and tweak them so that they work well in your home. I sometimes get comments about my kitchen, like why I keep things on my table or on my counters, and my response usually is because that's what feels cozy to me, and most of what I keep out on my counters is what I use often, like my standing mixer, utensils, my salt and pepper jars, and my fruit bowl. I do have a few small things that are part of my collections that I keep on my peg rails, but other than that, I don't have much that I keep out that isn't useful to me or that I use daily. I do try to be thoughtful about the seasonal pieces that I add to my kitchen because I don't want them to interfere with daily life, which is why I do things like added the cute little teacups to my glass jars or the very small bowl of eggs. It doesn't interfere with anything that goes on daily in the kitchen, but it does help to bring that feeling of spring. One goal that I had for my home this year was to not be afraid to add color. After such a long winter, I really wanted and needed some color in my home. I keep the base of my home pretty neutral, so I have the ability to add in different colors throughout the seasons. I really wanted my home to feel happy and cheerful for spring. My sink area is constantly being used, so all I did here was change out the pitcher that holds my scrub brushes and add in some spring dish soap. For my island, I added in the floral arrangement that we created at the beginning of the video with some of the same eggs that I used on my back counter. I do like to repeat colors in a space to help it feel more cohesive. Before we get started on my strawberry bundt cake, I wanted to show you how everything came together in the kitchen. A strawberry dessert in my home is usually a crowd pleaser. Everybody loves strawberries. This cake is definitely one that I only make every now and again, but it is very delicious. I started by mixing together some diced strawberries, sugar, and lemon juice. I let this sit out on the counter while I mixed up the batter. You do want your eggs, butter, cream cheese, and buttermilk to be room temperature, so make sure to set those out ahead of time. I will share a link for the recipe in the description, but it starts by creaming together the butter, cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla. Once you have those creamed together, you will add the 4 eggs in one at a time. Then you will want to mix your dry ingredients together. These will be added to the wet ingredients, beginning with the dry and ending with the dry. You will alternate the dry ingredients with the buttermilk. Once you have the batter all mixed, half will be added to a greased bundt pan, followed by half of the strawberries. You will swirl this together and then add the remaining batter and strawberries, and then swirl everything one more time. It goes into a 325-degree oven for just over an hour. While the cake was baking, I put together a simple glaze with powdered sugar, and then I mixed in some strawberry puree. All I did to make the strawberry puree was to add a handful of strawberries that had been washed and hulled to a blender and pureed. To me, nothing says cozy like a fresh baked cake. I hope you all enjoyed today's video and got some inspiration for your home. If you are new here, I hope that you will subscribe and stay a while. I am looking forward to sharing my garden preparations with you in the upcoming weeks. I wish you all a wonderful start to spring, and I will see you next week.